So I think we know from the opinion polls running into this general election that the Conservatives were significantly behind, that it looked like Boris Johnson's 2019 voting coalition was essentially imploding in several different directions, if that's possible. But to see it in real time is still very striking. What we're looking at is something in the region of a 20-point drop in the Conservative vote share in 4.5 years. And the catalyst for that appears to be the growth of Reform UK, winning 4 seats, a bit less than what we thought at the start of the night, where we thought we might get 13. There's still a significant number of seats. Nigel Farage finally in Parliament. But what's more significant is the votes that they've taken off the Conservatives throughout the country, because what it seems like is that the Labour vote share nationally has only increased very modestly by a few points, but it's Reform taking those votes off the Conservatives that's allowed them to win such a significant landslide.
What happens next? We'll start off with the opposition and we'll get to the Labour government as well. What happens next with the centre-right stroke right side of British politics as well? Nigel Farage talking about this as being a launch pad. Straight away he said in his acceptance speech down in Clacton, a launch pad for 2029. It's fascinating to see which way the main opposition, they will still just about be the main opposition at the moment. They've got 99 seats at the moment, down 220. We haven't quite got over the 100 mark yet, with 62 to go as well. What happens to the right side of British politics, to the whole Brexit debate as well?
Well, I think that's the open question. I mean, we see that people like Suella Braverman, who will still be in Parliament, seem to be much more open to finding an accommodation with Nigel Farage. What that would look like in practice remains to be seen. But there are others in the Conservative Party that are, hell-bent on preventing Nigel Farage from being part of whatever comes next. So fundamentally, that is going to be part of the next Tory leadership debate whenever it kicks off. Of course, Penny Mordaunt won't be part of that. She lost her seat. So again, it remains to be seen what's left of the Conservative Party and what they do from here.
Well, Jeremy Hunt scraped over the line as well after a vicious campaign in Surrey. In fact, he worked so hard at the local scene. It was very interesting to note as well. So, Penny Mordaunt, Grant Shapps, Alex Chalk, Gillian Keegan amongst the ministers losing their seats. Jacob Reed-Mogg lost his seat as well. Very interesting there. But in terms of the government now and the Labour government, how safe is Sir Keir Starmer from an assault from the left as well? I think a lot of our viewers looked at the Jeremy Corbyn years as well, and Jeremy Corbyn, who's got in as an independent, he's lost the Labour whip. I heard John McDonnell saying he wants him to get the whip back, not become an independent, become back onto the Labour benches as well. How safe is Sir Keir Starmer over the next 2 or 3 years with this enormous majority?
I think it's pretty safe. Look, I think there's 2 things I would say. The first is that in terms of the parliamentary selections, the candidates that the Labour Party have chosen to be part of this new majority, there has been quite the concerted effort, it would appear, to prevent leftist candidates from running, or the word purge is used.
So there's no secret momentum underbelly going on, just for our viewers who are worried about that kind of thing?
No, I mean, I think that there's been a lot of effort from the Labour Party and the Labour leadership to choose candidates that are in sort of Keir Starmer's image. There's been a highly disciplined attempt to do that. I mean, politically, where the risk comes from the left is external to the Labour Party, I think, and potentially losing votes to, let's say, the Greens or to other candidates, which we've seen overnight. It's not a big story of the election because Labour have won so big, but the Greens have increased their vote share significantly, Independents have increased their vote share significantly. So it will be what impact that has externally on the Labour Party that might have an impact.